Coretta Scott King was a civil rights leader, an activist, an author, and also the wife of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So today, in honor of Black History Month, we take a closer look at the life of Coretta Scott King so people can know who she was and what she stood for. Hi, I'm the Libra Man. Let's get right into it. Born Coretta Scott in Heidelberg, Alabama on April 27, 1927. Her parents were Obadiah Scott and Bernice Scott. As a child, her mother attended a local crossroads school. Her formal education ended in the 4th grade. But her siblings went to Tuskegee Institute, founded by Booker T. Washington. Obie, Coretta's father, was one of the first Black people in their town to own a car. He worked as a police officer prior to starting his own business. He ran a clothing shop with his wife. He owned a lumber mill, but it was burnt down by his white neighbors when he refused to sell the mill to them. Coretta worked at the age of 10 to help her parents. And during the Depression, her and her siblings helped pick cotton to raise money for the family. When she was ready for college, she attended New England Conservatory of Music in Scotland, in Boston. While studying singing at the school, there is where she met Martin Luther King Jr. Coretta showed little interest initially in Dr. King, but she did agree to meet with him at the suggestion of one of her friends. When they initially met, Scott was surprised of how short Dr. King was. Dr. King told Coretta that she had all the qualities that he was looking for in a wife. Scott replied to him, "You just met me. You couldn't possibly know that already." But Dr. King did know what he wanted. Coretta just didn't think that he was able to see it in her already. She started seeing Dr. King regularly after that. Coretta knew that if she wanted to continue to pursue her musical career, it would be hard to do that if they were married. But she went on to marry him on June 18, 1953, on the lawn of her mother's house. They remained married until his assassination in 1968. They had 4 children together. Coretta continued her civil rights career. She pushed for MLK Day to be a federal holiday. And in 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed into legislation Martin Luther King Day. During the 1980s, Coretta Scott King reaffirmed her position to apartheid, participating in a series of sit-in protests in Washington, D.C. King was a longtime advocate for world peace. By the end of 2004, Coretta Scott King started experiencing health problems. She was hospitalized in April of 2005. She was released from the hospital later that same month. And in January of 2006, she checked into a rehab center in Mexico. And on January 30th, 2006, Coretta Scott King died. Her body was flown to Atlanta from Mexico. She was buried next to her husband, Dr. Martin Luther King. She was viewed during her lifetime of having strived for and to preserve her husband's legacy. She was a great woman. She sacrificed her singing career in order to support her husband's civil rights dreams. But she was still able to find another passion in civil rights herself. She practiced that passion her entire life. So Coretta Scott King, to celebrate Black History Month, we are honoring you. You are an extraordinary woman, and you are being greatly missed. If you like anything I said in this video, hit the like button and subscribe button, leave a comment, and until the next time, the Libra Man is out.